All right, so Mirizu trailer dropped out a month ago, and I don't feel like I've seen many people do a month later reactions. You know, sometimes you can get things wrong. Sometimes you can look at a trailer at first glance and say, I don't like this. And then you can turn back, you know, a month later and be like, all right, cool. Maybe it does. It's okay. It's not that bad. I'm going to watch it again a month later, see. Well, this is the month later now. I'm going to see what I think about it. One thing I will say before I start this trailer, and I do feel like Tekken 8 is going in a different direction. I think this is the new school era. Now, the issue here that I want to say before I even dissect into this Mirizu trailer is I do feel like uh, I feel like Tekken wants to go into a new direction, but what they should have done, they should have went the Tekken 3 route where they changed a lot of the characters and made them younger. So like if you're trying to get this new generation, this younger generation, maybe you should have made some of the characters younger. Like maybe martial law shouldn't be martial law. Martial law should be forest law. Or you should make some of these characters just more the younger versions. If you was trying to go through that new generation stuff. A lot of these characters are old. Like Paul Phoenix is old, Yuya's old, Heihachi's hella old, Leroy's old. Victor's old. You know, the Williams sisters are old. You know, if you're trying to go for that new generation, maybe you should have. You know what I mean? But I don't know. If we're talking about in terms of gameplay, I feel like this is the next generation Tekken. This is not for the people that enjoy it. If your Tekken 5 DR was your favorite game, I don't think this Tekken game is for you. I'm being so real. And this is the best way that I've kind of processed information, especially when I've gone to Korea and I've spoken to various different people. I was looking at it from my lens, and bearing in mind I haven't traveled or competed outside of Korea. So I haven't really been able to ask people questions and be like, okay, what do you think about Tekken 8 properly? But now I'm like, okay, now that I went to Korea, I was like, let me ask people, let me do the ask the pro questions. People loved it before when I done it in 2019. I'm seeing a lot of channels do it now, but people love those type of content where I ask the pros, see what they think. You know, it gets very good engagement. People love it. I will be doing it again in Thailand. If you lot do have questions, on my YouTube post, I've made a section for you lot to ask me what question you want me to ask them. The questions I do choose out, I will be highlighting your post with these questions. So get involved in that. Don't just turn an eye on it. I will be getting your message highlighted in the video so you lot can know that all right, I am paying attention. Because these questions ask the pro questions, it's very interesting people's insight because I thought everyone was going to dislike Mirizu, but some people are liking Mirizu. So it's now making me think, oh, do I need to look at it from a different angle and maybe figure it out if I do like the character or can I like the character? That's what we're doing here today. And again, like I said, this channel is, I am super opinionated, but I can also be wrong. I can also have a change of opinion. So I just want to watch the trailer again and see. At first glance, I did not like the trailer. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know. Maybe I might like it. I just don't like the fact that they gave her a stance, but her stance doesn't like what is it Moringe or something like that? Something like
Born
that.
with crimson eyes, as foretold by her renowned fortune-telling.
I am not gonna lie to you. Her face model looks nice. Like it looks good. When I really look at this face model, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, she doesn't look like Zafina. She doesn't look like Lily. She doesn't look like Lydia. She looks like her own character. She got the beauty, you know. She got the beauty mark. Oh, I got a beauty mark here as well. It's not even a beauty birthmark. Sorry, she got this birthmark here or whatever. Like maybe this is my character. She's got it round. Hey, that's kind of crazy. If I turn around, she got it on the same. Maybe it's meant to be. Maybe I'm meant to play Mary Zoo. Maybe. No, I'm joking, but like, yeah, her design looks sick. I can't lie. I think her face looks good, but I don't like the generic clothing. Like the clothing that she had in the first trailer just looked generic. So I don't know. Maybe Mary Sue might be my new, you know what I'm saying? I might play her as a secondary. I don't know. Let's get into it and see what's going on. I like the fact that this trailer that made everyone look like they're super interested in this person. So yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. I'm conflicted.
Her grandmother developed a deep fascination with wildlife, mimicking their movements, including during their clashes with foes for survival. She naturally became interested in martial arts and quickly advanced at an astonishing pace. Before long, news of her spread, and skilled martial artists from all over sought to test their skills against her.
So this character drops into Tekken 8 on the 3rd of December. Because the 2nd of December, 3rd of December. The last character for season 2. Mirizu. She don't even pronounce that, the last part. Yeah, she's meant to be from Madagascar. She's like very playful, right? It kind of reminds me of Elena from Street Fighter 3. She jumps around a lot though. That's a wait. So that's an attack reversal. I've seen it before, but just seeing that she jumps off the wall. So how am I meant to pressure her? So yeah, that breaks Power Crush. I hope this move is hella unsafe then, because yeah, that can't be safe. So I want to know what the mind game is. So forget about this part. I want to know what the mind game is between like just throwing her. If my back's against the wall and I'm like, ooh, I need pressure. Do I just throw you and then jump off the wall and then now you've got a guess and I put you in a mix up? This part is very interesting, and this is stuff that maybe I don't think people have understood like carefully. That if my back's against the wall, I can grab you and then I can just be like, all right, cool. You're gonna break the throw because you're this esports pro player. Sick. But then you're now in a mix-up. Like, this is kind of crazy. Look, you then have to guess. Which is, we don't know what the mix-up scenario is. We only know that she has a mid that breaks armor. That's the only thing we know. And she can land off of it safe. So now, you know, if we try to do a low attack, this gets evaded. Like, she's very interesting. I'm not going to lie to you. She's very I think Mirizu is interesting. It's all this stripper pole stuff that where it's kind of lost me, if I be honest. Yeah, I don't like this stuff. Okay, so that's like a... So that was from a running 3. So you block her running. So is it running 3 or running 4? Her combos look kind of weird. Okay, so she does just running 3. Skip damage, block. Then you got to guess. You can't press anything. That's counter hit. Yeah, that wall combo looks a bit mad. That move, that jumping move. Okay. Got fairy tail as well. You know what's crazy about this character? She kind of reminds me of Eileen from Virtual Fighter. She's got a monkey stance. Like all of those like kind of hitting like this and like that's how Eileen actually fights in Virtual Fighter. We gotta talk about this. So if you ain't watched my interview with Nee, he says that he thinks that Bandai have added this whole Ogre concept to Mirizu just to make people want to play her. I'm not gonna lie, I can see the angle. I am not gonna lie to you. I definitely can see the angle, but we also don't know if they. Yeah, I mean, if she never had the whole Asian Ogre, basically, I don't think people would want to play her. I don't know. Like I would like if she never had anything to do with Ogre, I probably wouldn't want to play her. If I be honest, I'm gonna be honest. I really like Asian Ogre. I think Asian Ogre is sick, but he's not in the game. The next best thing is Mirizu, right? Mirizu's got some connection with Asian Ogre. Like, this is sick. Hey, the second theme song is sick. This is definitely an anime character, bro. Hey, that little giggle is crazy. She just sounds like she's gonna be a crazy character, bro. You're gonna be a one crazy character. And this is like a punch parry. And that's Asian Ogre's low tail. It's people might not know about Asian Ogre. I mean, not Asian Ogre. That's True Ogre's low tail spin. That's gonna be annoying. That looks pretty fast as well. I'm not gonna. That looks fast. Nah, that looks really fast. I don't feel like people. Yeah, I don't know. That looks fast. That's really fast. Yeah, she's reincarnation of like Ogre, I think. Apparently, there's different ogres. Jeez. This intro is pretty sick though. Oh, so she has these like, what are these are they like marks? She has these like, not tribal marks, but what are they like? She starts glowing and she's got this like mark on her head. Oh, okay. Just like a power up. Whoa, 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 whoa. I wonder what that attack is, sort of. Like, it looks like from a sidestep, right? She stepped. What's the, like, the range on her snakes looks pretty kind of crazy. Like, they go pretty far, the snakes. Damn. So she does this for the kick with a boom. All right. I wanna, let me rate, seeing as we're gonna do different sections to this video, let me rate this rage art. There she runs up the snake, hits them up, throws them down. I don't know how I feel about that huge explosion thing. I feel like it definitely feels super over the top. It kind of reminds me of like Dragon Ball Z or something like that. Someone doing Kamehameha and there's a massive explosion afterwards. It doesn't really fit with Tekken, if I would say so. Or it kind of looks like a Final Fantasy limit break or something like that. I don't know. I'll give it 6.5, if I'll be honest. I'll give it 6.5. I'm not really a huge fan of... No, you know what? I'll give it 7. I'll give it 7. I kind of like how fluent it is. Domain expansion again. We're in this alternate universe where things are happening, and then you go back to where the stage is. I'd say 7. I'll give it a 7. 7's cool.
Vanilla, programme sa'yo ici. Os bebês eles eram mais tubum cucu. E fanam outside.
Yeah, that's a Asian ogre thing. Asian ogre, if you not realize in like the previous games, he does like this with his hands. He always does this and comes out and does that. But she kind of does it quick like that. So, and she's saying my nana said in a battle, it's the loser that stands to gain the most. So obviously, basically saying that obviously you're gonna learn more from experience. So in a way, you're the winner. Kind of pity in that sense.
Os bebês eles eram mais tubum cucu. E fanam outside.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. My opinion is. I'll tell you my thoughts. Tell you my thoughts after. I like the fact that she likes like different animals and stuff like that. I think that's pretty sick. So she's out December the 1st. Okay, I stand corrected. Official release date is December the 4th. Okay. I like this costume. Number 2. Number 3. I don't know. You know what's crazy, yeah? Look at that. Look at these these costumes again, yeah. This reminds me of like a Disney character for some reason. I don't know where it is. I think it's like the lower half of her body. Looks like a Disney. Like what are they, boots? I don't even know where they are. Just around her ankles. Like those kind of remind me of like a Disney character, and then the staff. This kind of makes me reminds me of Tifa for some weird reason. I don't know why I think of Tifa, but it kind of does. I think it's the vest kind of like low cut vest that she has. I think it's in Advent Children. But yeah, the outfits are not really saying much, but I'll probably use costume for, if I'll be honest. But yeah, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this overall. So like, again, like I said, I don't think this game is for people. I don't think this game is for people. Sorry about that. This game is not for people that say Tekken 5 is their favorite game. If you are one of those people that say Tekken 5 DR or Tekken Tag 2 is your favorite game, I don't think Tekken 8 is for you. I'm going to be so real with you. I've been complaining a lot about Tekken 8 for a while. It's definitely like made people watch me a lot less because I know people just want to enjoy it. And in some aspect, I can't change how I am, but I do apologize in complaining about Tekken 8 for a long time. I will say I have looked at Tekken in a different lens, and I'm now taking it for it is what it is. You know, I'll still play it because it's got Tekken, but it doesn't feel the same. Like all of this domain expansion stuff and these rage arts that take long and heat smashes and these super duper plus on block moves, I'm not a fan of it. I think it makes people think less. It makes people have less of a learning curve. And that's not really what I stand for. I like learning new things. And I think this game doesn't allow you to learn. I think this game gives you everything. You don't know how to do electric wing godfist. All right, go into heat. You got electric wing godfist. Like, I don't think that's not what I learned Tekken for. I like the lore. I like the Easter eggs, all of these things. And I feel like that's all gone. So I'm now looking, like I said, I didn't like Miyazu at the start. I understand it now. This is an introduction to the next generation. Back in the old school days of Tekken, they would do characters that look like martial arts characters from the movies and stuff like that. But let's be honest, when's the last time that anyone's watched a martial arts movie right now? Like they're not popping as how they were back in the 90s. And that's no shade. This is just me talking with facts. If you used to say, what do people watch more, anime or martial art movie, we're going to say anime. Like, this is just a known fact. Now, this ain't me saying I'm hating on anything. This is a known fact. And I think what we're seeing right now is they want to cater for the next generation of players. power crush, plus on block mid, so you don't have to, set up these stuff. You ain't gonna be fighting against JDCR where JDCR backdashing to the end of the ring. You ain't gonna see Arsenash playing Kunimitsu doing backdash to the end of Infinite Azor. They said nah to that, and they're saying all stages are gonna have that you can't backdash forever. We're gonna give characters like +6, +8 on block move. You have to then guess like 50-50. And I hate that. I really do. But the truth of the matter is this does help new players get into the game. I'm seeing a lot of new players that I personally think shouldn't be winning against me in ranked, but they are winning against me in ranked. They're key charging, teabagging, and they're happy. But what they don't understand is this game is catered towards that audience. Have you not ever played like Call of Duty? And Call of Duty they've made the game a lot easier. There's loads of different things that makes it easier for other people to play. Like, this is the same thing that's happening over here. And while I don't like it, I understand now. Like, I fully understand it. This is not for the people that like Tekken 5, and this is not for the people that like Tag 2. This is for the next generation. Maybe I don't know the players, because I always ask, who are these next generation people? Maybe it's not the pro players. Maybe it's for those. There's TikTokers out there. Maybe there's a whole different generation that might just want clip worthy things just to kind of show to people. And Tekken 8 brings that out in them, because there's a lot more zoom in effects. There's a lot more this, a lot more icing on the cake, a lot more sprinkle. So now that there's a lot more of like zoom ins, this cinematics and stuff, it allows the game to have a lot more clip-worthy events. Like Tag 2 never really had clip-worthy events like that. Like, it's kind of like you do something sick, it's probably a long combo. You know what I mean? Like a long tag combo. Tekken 7, yeah, there was some stuff, but it wasn't that great. But Tekken 8, there's a lot of like moments where it's like, oh my gosh, boom, clip that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I want to show you one more thing before we move on, which is that Mary Zoo has an intro with Anna.
Wow! माझा कुस्ती matamti san.
They couldn't possibly. Do they know about the cryo sleep?
Round 1.
So basically, for people that might not know, the Williams sisters were they were in a frozen sleep. I can't remember how it works, but it's called a cryo sleep. So they were like, their whole body was frozen. And then I think with Ancient Ogre being around, it awakened Nina and Anna. I think that's how it went. Obviously, Mirizu is connected to one of the ogres, and obviously that's what sparked her doing this pose here, where Ogre's there. So now, remember what I said about. See, this is why I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Remember what I said about what Nee said about incorporating her into the story a lot so that people like her. I feel like it's true, because why they could have all these intros with all these, like, she's got one with Zafina, she's got one with Nina. She's probably gonna have a lot with like the characters. She'll probably have one with Jin, Kazuya, Heihachi. Maybe that might allude to Ancient Ogre coming back in, season 3. Maybe. It would be sick too. I personally think that Ancient Ogre would have been better than Mirizu. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of characters missing. You could have just gave a lot of moves that are missing from the characters that are missing, and just give it to Ancient Ogre. So like, Miguel's missing, Bob's missing, Ganry's missing. You could just give bare moves that, from characters that are not in the game to Ancient Ogre. And that would have been sick. But again, I don't know. This is all speculation. I do want to say that I want to know what would you lot like to see? Would you lot have liked to see Ancient Ogre or Mary Zoo? I have a YouTube post which has 2.7k votes at the minute. Let me even show you lot. So it's got 2.7k, right? So this is where it is. And it's 75% Ancient Ogre, and then there's 45% Merizo. I want you lot to not even leave a comment on the comment section. I want you lot to go and vote and leave a comment here, because we're gonna revisit this and we're gonna do a video afterwards talking about Asian Ogre or Merizu. So leave a comment here and leave a vote here, because I do want to see what you lot think about that. But yeah, other than that, this is, you know, 1 month later of me reviewing Merizu trailer. I didn't really see many people do that. I feel like when people do a reaction to a video, it's kind of like, all right, whatever. I feel like it's good to kind of like go back and see, do I like the character now? Has things changed? You know, when you first see this stuff, it's like different colors of paint and you don't even know what's going on. You're like, well, this doesn't look like the game that I like. But then you're like, oh, okay, maybe I do afterward. I personally think she's, from what I feel last time when I first saw her ticket, now she looks all right. You know, she looks all right. I've got to take it for what it is. I'm not gonna see martial arts characters anymore. Martial art movies. They're not really as active or popping as how they were back in the day. You know, they're Fist of Legend and, you know, all of these Warriors 2, like Ip Man, all of these stuff. They're not as popular. They're not as popular anymore. You know, we're in the anime era. Everyone loves Naruto. Everyone loves Boruto. Boruto's like the best anime of all time, right? Right?